Today we're going to look at the DC challenge. Now I know it can be a little confusing to match a fingering chart like this with the actual keys on the flute. So let's take a closer look. Now remember, we don't ever press this top key here. Now the reason for that is when we press this key, it presses the top key too. So what we're going to do is we are going to just make a little X there so we remember not to play it. Now this next key is also one that we don't touch because the one underneath it holds it down for us. So let's put an X on that one too. Now the next two are keys that we touch. Now the third key that we touch with the left hand also presses down that first key on the right hand. So we're never ever going to need to touch that key. You can see this line here is where our hands separate. Now when I press this key, it also presses down that one, so the first two on the right hand never need to get touched. So that leaves us with 3 circular keys on the left, 1, 2, 3, and 3 circular keys on the right, 1, 2, 3, that we can press down. You can see they line up with 1, 2, 3 on the left and 1, 2, 3 on the right. You'll notice this first circle right here is not filled in. That means the key that it corresponds to on our flute is not going to be pressed down by our fingers. And that key is this one right here. We're going to skip over that key with our first finger and not press it down. The second circle is this one right here. It's the next key that we would press, and that one is filled in, so we're going to press it down. I'm going to fill that in with a black dry erase marker so we can match it up with our picture. So this third key here, the third circle, matches this key right here. I'm going to fill that in with the dry erase marker as well. Now notice I have all 3 circles on the right hand filled in. They match those 3 right there. Let's fill those in. Now all we have left for D is the thumb keys on the left hand. You can see this open one here corresponds with this one. We don't press that down, but this filled in one corresponds with this key right there. That's called the B key. And I'm going to fill that in. You'll also notice on the fingering chart that there is a key that's not filled in. That's your pinky E flat key right here. We don't need this key for this note, so we will not be pressing it down. Let's take a look at how we place our fingers now. My left thumb is going to go here on the left thumb key I marked earlier. I'm going to skip over that first key on my left hand, but I'm going to press down my second and third fingers. In my right hand, I'm going to put my thumb at the bottom, and then I'm going to press down 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm leaving my left finger up because I'm not pressing that key down on this note. Correctly, it will sound like this. Our next note is C. Remember, we skip over this key and this key on the left hand, and this key on the right hand. To match our picture, we need to fill in the first key on the left hand. Then the only other key we press is this pinky key on the right hand. So take your first finger on the left hand and place it on that first key like this. Then your pinky goes right there on the last key, and put your thumb underneath to hold your flute up. So that's just the first finger on the left and the pinky on the right. If you play C correctly, it will sound like this. Now finally, we are going to work on switching between the two notes. So start with D. Get your fingers placed, the thumbs second and third, 1, 2, 3, as slowly as you need to get them placed, and then play D. Then switch to C, first finger down, pinky down, as slowly as you need to, and then play C. Then go back to D. Place your fingers deliberately, make sure they're all going in the right spots. Switch back to C as slowly as you need to. Do that until you feel like your fingers kind of just know where to go on their own. And then you're going to start trying to switch them a little faster. So get your D. My fingers know where to go for C. And every now and then you'll slip up and you'll need to go back and look at the sheet, make sure your fingers are in the right spot, and do that. Gradually build up that speed until you're able to move back and forth really quickly. Good luck. Now get to practicing.